What's good? It's the GOAT. And on this video, I'm back with a recap video from a meet. This past weekend, I ran at the Mt Sac Invitational. I ran the Invite 100 and 200. I already knew it was gonna be a shit show before I even got on a plane to go to California. So the fact that I ran what I ran with the poor execution, I just know I'm about to get how I usually get. But yeah, I ran the 100 and the 200. In the 100, they had me in lane 2, which was all the way on the outside. It's crazy because every 100 I've ran, I've either been like lane 1 or lane 9, something on the outside. I've never been like in the actual race, and it's cool, but at the same time, you really can't see anybody in a race, so you really don't know where you are. The only person you have to gauge off of is like the person directly next to you. But other than them, you really can't see anyone else in the race. So it's trash on that end. And plus, like, I'm new to the 100, so it's like, it'll be cool to get at least a lane that's kind of in the mix. At least one of these races that I run. But I know it'll come eventually. But yeah, I had the 100 at 1 p.m. This is my first race of the day. I warmed up, and I knew the race was going to be low-key mid as fuck, like when I was at practice earlier in the week. Just because the training I was doing, it's just on some heavy shit. Like, I just had no pop, no explosion. And then going into the weekend, I just felt the same. But meets like this don't matter anyways. I'd rather train heavy right now, taper off later, and then run fast when it count. But then, yeah, I warmed up at the track meet. I don't know where my coach was the whole entire meet. Like, I never see him at track meets. And I'm in the warm-up area, and I was doing excels, and it was time for me to do like block starts because they had those wide blocks, and like I'm not really used to those. So I tried to do a few block starts, but like all the coaches from the other schools, they were like hogging the blocks. And then like my coach, he's not there, so he can't like ask the other coaches for the blocks type shit. So I'm just like, I'm going to just go out there on the track, and when I get in the blocks, I'm going to just try something. But I feel like I had a good setting. The only thing was I think I had them like too low. Like I had the block pedals too low. Yeah, but me feeling how I felt like all week, and then showing up to the meet, warming up, not being able to do blocks because my coach wasn't there, the shit show just continued. But that wasn't stopping me. I went out there to win that motherfucker. So it was just like, we about to go run, and we about to see what we can do, and just hope we don't run no 10-5 or no 10-4, no crazy shit like that. Because at the bare minimum, we want to at least be consistent in a 10-3, 10-2 range. Really run 10-1, 10-0, but we don't want to just fluctuate with nothing too crazy like a 10-5 or nothing. So it was time for the race. I'm out there. I ain't really caring about none of that shit. I'm just trying to be the first one to the line. And if you look at my block pedals, you see how low they are. Like, some people have theirs like up higher, which I should have did, but I just didn't know no better because I didn't get to practice with those blocks. And I'm not used to those blocks, but it just is what it is.
Really good start. That was just something she was known for, and I'm a great closer. So I was like, she's going to jump out. I'm going to be with her. But once we stand up, I'm
All right, yeah, she's yapping. But now it's time for the race to start. They tell us to take our marks. And you got those people that do the most before they get in the blocks. I know dude next to me, he plays like football at Oregon. And I knew he'll be the only person I'll be able to see during the races. So I'm just way on the outside. And I've raced on the outside before, so I know how I usually go. And I was like, bruh, I don't care what kind of race I have. I can't lose to no motherfucker playing football, bro. Like, even though I'm new to the 100, and I know bro been running the 100, I can't lose to no motherfucker running the 100, bro. I mean, lose to a motherfucker playing football, halfway running track. And they call us up because when we got down, his like hands were on the line. So instead of just telling him to push his hands back, they called us up on some road, you know what. But yeah, bro, you know what's crazy as fuck? Bro, here's my coach right here. What the fuck? I didn't even know bro was at the meet at this time, bro. Like, I was in the warm-up area. Like, couldn't do block starts or nothing because, like, all the coaches were, like, hogging the blocks. And, like, I ain't have nobody over there. So I didn't even know bro was at the meet. Dang, that's crazy. But yeah, it's time to run. So I'm just out there, bro. Like, man, mind you, this is my fourth ever 100. So, I really don't know what I'm doing. Like, I'm learning how to run 100 each week. Like, just going out there, just trying different stuff, trying to see what works. And let's see. So when I come into the set position, I knew I was going to be cooked out the blocks. Even though I'm a pretty decent starter, my setting was just all the way trash with these blocks. I had the pedals low, and I feel like when I came up into set, my back foot, you can see it, but you can't at the same time. I was literally just on the pedal, and I had like no power on the pedal, so I knew I was going to like push out the blocks, not even push out, literally walk out the blocks, have no power, like have no drive phase, stand up at like 30 meters or 20 meters and just
And
start
it's
running. Like
section
right there, I'm
two
already out
gets
my
going. A
drive phase.
really good start.
And it's funny how like small things can really alter your race in a grand scheme. Like poor acceleration, just a poor setting for acceleration made my drive phase only like 15 meters. And I had to stand up like super early. You see, I was the first one out of my drive phase, and I just started running because I had no power. Like I got no power out to start, so I just had to stand up and use my top end. So it's pretty much just poor execution all the way around. But let's continue watching.
There from Arizona's White Austin in 6, but Garcia, though, of Sharks.
Bro, you may or may not believe this, but when I crossed the line, I thought I got like second place in the whole entire race. When I was like damn near third for last. But like when you on the outside, bro, you literally don't know where you are in the race. You really just have the person next to you and you can't see nobody else. So that's why I thought I got like second. I felt like it was like a person in front of me, but apparently it was like 6 people in front of me, or like 5 people. But yeah, poor execution, poor acceleration really just set up the whole race poorly. And that's how I did my first race of the season, my first 100. It was just poor acceleration, set it up bad from the beginning, and I ended up running 10.6. And it was the same thing here. I ended up running 10.37 here or 10.36. Yeah, I ran 10.36 in this race.
Elite, nope, it will be White Austin of the University of Arizona, 10:15. Kroll of South Florida, 10:16 to finish second.
I often say sometimes there's something you see in the blocks to let you know, okay, they're at least going to have a really good start. White Austin, the way that he got set, I was like, his angles looked really, really good. He had a really good lean, and the way he shot out those blocks was very powerful. He stood up, he was running well, but then he had a push, he had an inside, he got passed, and the lead got exchanged. But then that's when you understand, keep my composure and keep pressing. Don't panic. Oftentimes when you panic, your arms get wild, your legs get a little low, and you kind of start tripping up on.
And it's section 2 gets going. A really good start there from Arizona's White Austin in 6, but Garcia, though, of Sharks Elite, nope, it will be White Austin of the University of Arizona, 10:15. Kroll of South Florida, 10:16 to finish second.
Other one was like,
Up next was the 200. So the shit show continued. In between the 100 and the 200, it was like 2 hours and some change. So most people after the 100 that ran at 2, they just sat under their team tent, which was provided by the meet. But for some reason, we didn't have, like our coach didn't get the tent. They came like the package with the meat. For some reason, I couldn't tell you why. So in between like the 2 hours, I'm sitting at the warm-up track, like just in the sun. It's like just sun everywhere, no shade. And I'm just getting cooked in the sun, drinking water. Water done got warm as a bitch and some more shit. But that's neither here nor there. When I went out there for the 2, I was ready to do a little something. I just wanted to do like some blocks, like to try to get used to those blocks. So I tried it again during the 200 at the warm-up track, and then it was the same way, like the coaches were like hogging the blocks. So I couldn't get to like change them and figure out what I need to do. So my block setting in a 200 was actually way worse than the 100, and you can actually see it on the video because it's like a side angle. I was like far as fuck from the line. My back leg was straight, so I really just had no power. So I came off the curve like in the back type shit. And I knew the 200 was gonna be bad because right before we ran, the girls had ran. And it was like Dina Asher Smith, Julian Alfred. They ran like 22.5 and 22.8. So I was like, bro, if these women who run 21.7, 21.7 in the 200 just damn near ran 23, what the hell are we about to run? And then like when I had to get in the blocks, I felt the wind just change. Like it changed on them too. That's why they ran so slow. And then on us, like the wind just got super strong. Like we got a super crazy headwind, like on the curve and on the backstretch. So it was just cooked all the way around. So I knew we weren't gonna run fast, but poor execution, because it was an easy race that I should have won. But just poor execution, I was on some road shit low key. And I just didn't have no coach there to like, coach type shit. So I just went with what I knew or what I thought I knew. And went out there and just tried something. But yeah, this is the 200-meter
Is
race.
this Olympics? Are we at the trials?
I wish I could say I understand what that feeling is, but I have never been to an Olympics game before. Obviously, yourself have been to 2 of them, so I'm going to take your word for it and be like, yeah, okay, I'm sure that's how it's done. I mean, I've been a starter myself before, and I just make sure that the kids are ready to go, and
Right.
I'm ready to fire that thing off. So
If you just look at my block positioning, you know that I'm about to be the last person off the curve because I'm in no position to push. You see how far I am from the line? My legs are literally straight on the blocks. So I'm literally going to have no power coming out. And once again, just like the 100, poor acceleration is going to set you up to suffer on the back end because you're going to have to stand up and start running way earlier than everybody else. And it don't matter how strong you think you are, everybody is strong. But yeah, like it was an easy race. It was just like crazy ass headwinds and poor execution. So those are two things that just set somebody up for the ultimate level of failure.
So section 1, BYU's Dallin Draper, Harold Achiyao in 4, Jaleel Kroll of South Florida, Gail Rad, transfer portal athlete. I don't know why it says that on his team name, but as they go around the turn into the home straightaway, Jaleel Kroll pulling away here for the Bulls of South.
What's funny is as soon as I crossed the line, I looked over at the time and I didn't even have to look at the scoreboard. I knew the wind was negative because as soon as I came out the blocks, I felt it. And despite everybody coming off the curve before me, as soon as we came off the curve, I felt like everybody come back to me because like the wind just started blowing them backwards. And since I didn't really get to push like that on the curve, I didn't use as much energy on the curve. So they didn't run away from me like they were supposed to. But yeah, I just knew the wind was negative because I was like, damn, 2086 winning the heat is crazy. Mind you, everybody in this heat, like we all have PRs like under 21 seconds. And I just ran 20.8 like in the cold and rain last week. So I knew it was more than poor execution.
Florida. And it's 20.87. Sorry, it kind of threw me off when I'm reading the athlete's name and I'm looking at a team name called Transfer Portal Athlete. I'm like, that is not a team name.
Right, and it's like that has nothing to do with this race right now. But no, Kroll did a great job running that turn and trying to eat up that turn and using the outside runners. He stayed down and he worked well. He knew, once again, this is the nature of the 200. They're going to pull up one side of you, but how do you respond?
So we ended up having a negative 1.6 headwind for this race, which was pretty obvious. You can tell by the times that like there was some type of like headwind out there. For us to be running 20.8s, 20.9s, and 21.0s, even 21.4 when everybody in this race has like a sub 21 PR and like often like constantly run sub 21. But even then 21.07, that's like the slowest time I ran since like my season opener last year. But I haven't ran into no negative headwinds either, so it was like a thing I couldn't complain about. So negative headwinds, poor execution, and that's what I come up with. No win. It's easily a sub 21 race. But sub 21 isn't hard either, because I do that all the time, even at practice. But like I was saying, I knew I was just doomed off rip from like earlier in the week before I ever showed up to the meet. But it's Mount Sac. It's April. Nobody remembered these meets in a few months. It's going to be time to run fast very, very, very soon. So stay tuned. And if you're watching this video and you got this far, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And if there's any videos you want to see me make, comment them down below in the comments. Make sure you follow me on Instagram. And also get your roll merch. The link is in the bio. And stream Stepsons and Never Run 22 on Apple Music, Spotify, whatever. And I'm out.